simple swaps that could change your life forever. So what if I told you guys you can make daily lifestyle swaps in your life that's going to help you lose more weight, going to help you feel better, that's going to help you increase your longevity, all of the most beneficial things you can get just by making simple swaps in your diet, in your lifestyle, and making sure you're working towards your health and fitness. That's what I'm sharing with you guys today. So when we think about making simple, like when we think about we've got to make choices, right? We've got to always try and increase our health and fitness however we can. And sometimes it's a struggle, but sometimes it can actually be easier than what we think. Making simple swaps when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to our health, can be easier if we just make it like simple as possible. The harder it is for you to be able to implement in your life. Like if I told you, if you've never exercised before, that you've got to start exercising 7 days a week and you've got to start changing all of your diets and your habits, well, that's going to be a hard thing for you to do and you're not really going to stick to it. But if you can make simple swaps that you guys can just implement, immediately, and it's not going to be hard to change, it's going to be so much more beneficial. It's going to be so much more easier for you to stick to too. So one simple swap I want to share with you guys first of all is, let's talk about the cardio. Let's talk about, instead of going for a long slow jog for 40 to 50 minutes to an hour, if you're someone who can put up with that, change to high intensity. And high intensity has been shown to reduce your overall stress levels, to increase the amount of calorie burn you have during the day, and to get you better results in the long run. So making something as simple as a swapping from long cardio to short cardio is a great exercise to do first. And the best thing about high intensity is that it's shorter period of time. So it's actually not that much of a hard of a swap. If you guys can say, okay, well, instead of doing an hour and a half, I'm gonna do 30 minutes of high intensity cardio. You go and do a 10-minute warm up, and then you go and do a 15-minute really intense sprint, and then you go and do a 10-minute cool down, and you are done. So making a simple swap to your cardio is one quick way you can do it. Another swap you guys can do is to swap your training around. Instead of focusing on one body part a day, increase that. So you can swap it for either doing a full body routine 3 times a week, or you can change it to an upper lower routine, because that way you're recruiting more muscles. Instead of saying, yeah, I'm just gonna work on my chest today, well, that's only so much you can do for your chest muscles, and you're gonna burn out quicker. But if you say, okay, today's gonna be full bodies, and it's gonna be incorporated squats, bench press, bent over row, chin-ups, all of those big key movements, you're gonna burn more calories, you're gonna build more lean muscle, and you're gonna get better results. So swapping out single body movements and swapping them in for big complex movements and doing full body exercises is another way you guys can get much better results in a shorter amount of time, to be able to burn more calories, to be able to build lean muscle, to be able to get rid of that body fat. Another thing I recommend you guys swap is just your breakfast. Swap your breakfast from grains to protein and fats, okay? So instead of having, all right, muesli and berries, no more muesli and berries. Change to something different. You can say, I'm going to have 3 eggs. I'm going to have a veggie omelet. I'm going to make a protein smoothie. So you might have a protein, a veggie sauce, a fruit sauce, and some type of milk. You could say, I'm going to have some type of like a full fat Greek yogurt with something else instead of muesli. Maybe it's just a piece of fruit. Swap out the carbohydrates in the morning for something that's going to keep you fuller longer, and that's going to make sure that you're not craving carbohydrates during the day. That's a really good one for you guys to try, and it's something simple you can do in the morning. But remember, at the end of the day, you want to make it simple as possible too. So it's going to take you a long time to be able to cook in the morning. It's not going to work. Well, then maybe a shake is going to be better for you to swap out, as opposed to trying to say, all right, I'm going to try and make scrambled eggs this morning, and you just don't have enough time. The simpler it is, the easier it is to implement. And then when it comes to waiting for a bus, guys, swap out the waiting for the walking, okay? So if you're going to be, let's say when you're sitting down waiting for a bus, you're sitting down waiting for something, why not simply just say, every time I'm going to wait for public transport, I'm going to stand up and walk up and down the platform. I'm going to do some circles, I'm going to do some laps, or I'm going to walk to the next bus stop. If you can swap out sitting for standing as often as possible, you're going to burn more calories during the day and you're going to start burning fat. I talked about this in the other video about NEAT activity levels, non-exercise activity. Something as simple as going for a walk while you're waiting for the train or waiting for the bus instead of sitting on your ass is such a good way for you just to burn those extra couple of calories. Or if the bus isn't here for another 15-20 minutes, why not keep walking to the next bus stop until the bus is on its way? Because that way you guys can just keep busy. You can be listening to a book, you can be doing something different, and you're going to still be burning calories. So swap sitting for standing whenever you can. Especially a simple way to implement that, like I said, waiting for the public transport. And then one other thing, guys, swap more veggies and carbohydrates around. So a lot of us, if we're not, look, you think that I'm like really against carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are great for specific times during the day, but a lot of people don't need as many as we think. So if you can swap your rice and all those, like, you know, your rice, your grains, your bread for more vegetables during the day, and then making sure that you're getting more vegetables in, it's going to be so much more easier for you to focus on your fat loss. It's going to help you get all the vitamins and minerals you need. It's going to help you feel fuller for longer. It's going to help you reduce your amount of calorie intake, and then it's going to make you enjoy your carbohydrates more when you have them. So just swap them out in small amounts. And they're the simple tips you guys can implement straight away. So let's go over them again really quickly. Number one is swap sitting for standing as often as you can, especially when waiting for public transport. Number two is to swap your low intensity long cardio for more high intensity shorter paced cardio. So you could go from an hour of just doing jogging to 30 minutes to 15 to 20 minutes of doing high intensity. Number three is to swap your single body part exercise days into full body workout days and a focus on full body movements like your squats, deadlifts, pull-ups, bent over row, bench press, all of those key components. Another thing you guys can do is I recommend is swapping out, making sure you swap out your carbohydrate heavy breakfast for more protein. You swap out your carbohydrate heavy lunch for more veggies. And then after you have your workout, that is the time that you want to be having your carbohydrates, or have your carbohydrates closer to bed. No, carbs are not bad before bed, and I'm going to link to you guys right here that you can actually watch the other video where I talk about carbohydrate timing. So guys, I hope the video was informative. If you have any other questions, make sure to comment down below. Also, don't forget to click down the link below to get my top 10 food guide that I always recommend. Speak to you guys next time.